the three things that we will deal about is the inflation. So as you know that the value of money is decreases, so you need something in which you store your money so that it could beat the inflation. So for that you need to invest your money at a rate maybe more than inflation, so that the value of your money, so the value of your investment after X year would be more than the inflation. So this is one of the motivation behind investing. So the second one is to basically educate, so to invest for education, for marriage, and for house purchase and stuff like that. And the third one is basically to meet the financial aspiration going forward. So where to invest? As we have deal about like what is investment. Now you must curious about where to invest and where to like store our money so that it could grow faster than the inflation and we could earn more money. So for that there are some places where you can invest your money, some instrument. So the first one is fixed income instrument, which is basically bond or the government securities. So what bond is basically, it is a contract between two companies or a companies or a government, in which a company issue a bond, and on that and on return you get interest per month, and in the end of the end of that period you will get the par value of your investment that you invest at the starting. So this is what bond is. And then we have stock market, which is equity, that public equity and private equity. There are real estate, and there are commodity, which basically consists of the stock, which basically consists of gold, silver, oil and agriculture products and all the other things. You can invest in that also going forward. So yeah, as so basically as I mentioned in this slide, which basically about like public about how a particular a person should invest, and basically how a business can invest and how a business can growth. So we will deal about this in this slide. So how a business expand. So let's just say I'm the entrepreneur and I have a very like brilliant business idea, but I don't have money to to basically fund my idea. So for that what I can do is that I could go to bank to take loan, but this is not a very initial stage. Investor won't in the very initial stage, investor won't invest in your idea because they don't have anything to to prove that yeah, this is a good idea. So for that you can go to your friend and family members, and let's just say that you go to 10 of your friends and family members, and from that 10, two are ready to invest in your idea. So basically these two are called as the angel investor, and the money that they invest is called as seed fund. So this is basically the primary money that you get to start your business through. So these are called angel investor. You might heard about this angel investor like in the news or and in the stuff like that. So this is what angel investor are. And so to value a company on after angel investor invest their money is basically by, let's just say that you are able to get the investment of around 5 crore through the angel investor. The primary value of your company is 5 crores. And after that, let's just say that you can, through this 5 crore rupees, what you can do is that you just and you
Sir, your voice is gone sometime.
Yeah,
We
lagging.
can't hear you properly.
so hello, is it okay now? Hello.
It's okay, but it's breaking in between.
Yeah, it's still breaking.
Shaurya, this is Jatin. Shaurya, can you hear me?
बोल बोल बोल।
अरे वेटिंग रूम चेक करना है। अगर तू होस्ट है तो एंट्री दे दो सबको।
अरे कोई नहीं है वेटिंग में।
नहीं है ना
ओके।
कोई वेटिंग में, चलो चलो। तो अब ठीक है क्या मेरी आवाज, कि अब भी मतलब ब्रेक हो रही है क्या?
हाँ हाँ सही है सही है।
यार मतलब चले, अब वैसे वो रिकॉर्ड मतलब रिकॉर्ड होगा उसके बाद, मतलब बेसिकली अगर तुम्हें कुछ डाउट है और कुछ कुछ समझ नहीं आया हो तो वो तुम एंड में पूछ सकते हो मुझसे। मतलब मैं एंड में बता दूंगा जो ब्रेक हुआ, जो मतलब तुम्हें पूछना हो। इन दी एंड वी विल हैव डिस्कशन सेशन फॉर दैट आल्सो। सो बेसिकली मैंने अभी एंजल इन्वेस्टर के बारे में बताया कि हाउ एंजल इन्वेस्टर, लाइक हाउ द इनिशियल प्राइमरी मनी कम इनटू द बिजनेस and how to start a business. So through this seed fund we can start our business, but like at some point of time we need to expand our business, to expand a manufacturing unit or to expand a retail, so the retail store. For that, basically what we can do is that we can go to the venture capitalists. So these are the series A funding, in which like we can like after angel investor, if we need more money to expand our business, we can directly go to the venture capitalist, and if they find our idea good, so they can, so this is called series A funding. So and now and basically now the value of your companies can be done by, so let me give you a brief overview of this. So at starting you have 5 crore rupees through the angel investor. Who can decide is that for like 40% goes to the which in case I am, and the 5% I give
Hello,
to the,
hello, excuse me.
Yeah.
Your voice is breaking a lot. Can you start again from the 5 crore part, from the example part? Hello,
bill to.
your voice is breaking a lot.
Sorry, your voice is breaking.
Hello, 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 is it?
Yeah. Now it's okay. Like start from the 5 crore part. Start the example once again, right?
Okay, that
Sorry, it's
I
still breaking.
bill to.
Sorry, it's still breaking.
Hello, hello,
We can just hear you
hello.
hello, but further we are not able to hear you.
Okay, let me just. Is hello? Is it okay now?
Yeah, better.
Acha, wait for 5 minutes. Let just wait for 5. What is the problem?
Hello.
Everyone just wait for about a couple minutes more, okay?
Hello.
Just
I hope
just
my
wait
voice
for a
is
couple minutes.
better. Hello. Is my voice better?
Yes, sir.
हाँ, sure, yeah.
Yes.
ओके, सो अभी मैंने मतलब एंजल इन्वेस्टर के बारे में बताया, तो मैं दोबारा से एग्जांपल से स्टार्ट करते हैं। सो 5 करोड़ वाला एग्जांपल। सो लेट्स जस्ट से दैट I'm able to get 5 crore investment through this angel investor. So now after that, what I can do is that I want to distribute that 5 crore between me and the angel investor and to the company. So let's just say that we decided that 40% of the investment goes to me. So I am a 40% holder. Angel investor 1 is the 5% holder, and angel investor 2 is 5%. And let the other 50% keep to the company. And after that, like, we work hard and we are able to expand our business, and now we need more money to basically open more retail shop in. So uh, so basically what I need is to like open more retail shop and stuff like that. For that I can go to venture capitalists and I ask them to expand in to basically fund in my business. So what he can do is that he can check my like business and value my company, and then accordingly he may be like, he if he find my business good, he can fund in my like business, and this is basically called series A fund. So what after the series A funding, I work hard and the business may grow more faster than that of before. And now I need like more fund, like basically this venture capitalists can give you investment from like 10 crore up to 10 crore. But if you need investment something like 50 crore, 100 crore, for that you have to go to someone like private equity. So these are the person that can invest in large amount. And basically what they can do is that they are very highly qualified and excellent professional background. So what they can do is that they don't only give you money, they also give you their people on the board of investments to ensure that the company is growing in the right direction, as they invest like large amount of money in the business. So what is capex? Capex is basically yeah. So whenever company needs do expenditure to basically improve the business, then this expenditure is called as capex. So like as I told you that I want to like open more manufacturing unit for my business. I want to like expand my management team. I want to expand my retail shop. So all these things come under the capex, and the money that we need is just for this capex purpose. So yeah, so this is how our business grow. First the angel investor, the second the venture capitalist, and third the private equity. So after that, after all these three things, if I let's just say that I'm able to, so let's just say that from the 5 crore I am able to generate around 200 crore through this private equity. Like in the 7 year of span, my business grow in something like that. So the company valuation goes from 5 crore to 200 crore. But I need to expand my business internationally and need to basically get more of the management research team and management and market research team. So for that, the fourth and the last thing to get investment is IPO. So yeah, IPO is yeah. So IPO is basically to go public, to go to the general people to ask for their money, to ask the money. So what are the advantages of IPO is that we get a large amount of money, we get a large amount of investment through IPO. Also, if a shareholder as I mentioned you, there are angel investor, venture capitalists, and private equity. So if someone wants to exit their position in the company, what he can do is that he can sell their shares in the public, and he just basically get rid of the if he want to leave the company, he can leave the company. So IPO is good for that also. And yeah, so this is what IPO is. So after that, why do companies go public? So as I told you, to expand their business, to basically raising the demands of capex, to pay debt, to like exit, as I told you, to exit the early investor, to reward employee. So IPO, so reward implies basically mean to give employees the share, and also to improve visibility. That is basically that if a company goes public, then the public gives more, then they are more attracted by the public, and the public decided to like take like to see this company as a good company, and to give like as so there can be chance that business may expand more rapidly. So and also to spread risks among the investor and among the like general people who invest in the company. So these are the advantages of, so these are the reason why the companies go public. Yeah. So these are some of the IPO diagram: under subscription, over subscription. So as you have like know about the Burger King IPO just came. So that was basically oversubscribed. So there are sometimes undersubscribed, means that if the number of shares is lower than what is available. So basically, then in that case, the company is undersubscribed, and in oversubscribed, if the number of shares is more than available, then it is oversubscribed. Then this is price band. So let's just say that I want to give the price as between the 100 and 130 to the price of a stock
Sorry,
between 100. Yeah,
yeah,
hello.
I wanted to ask a question. Like, what is bidding a share mean? Like, what does it mean?
Pardon.
What does bidding a share mean? Like I don't get it actually.
um Hello.
Exactly what is under subscription and over subscription? Can you repeat it? Like it's not clear.
Okay. Yeah, I can repeat it. So let's just say that let me give you a very brief example for that. So let's just say that for like at starting, as the company start, so we only have like promoter, angel investor 1 and angel investor 2, as I told you. And as I've decided that like 40% of that goes to me, 5% to angel investor 1, and 5% to angel investor 2. So let's just say that the current park capital, like the current valuation of a company is 5 crore at the starting. And I just want to divide that 5 crore into 50 lakh shares. So the price of one share, which is basically the face value, is rupees 10. So in that case basically the 2 crore, so there are how like there are around that. In that case there are 1 crore shares in the market, in the public, in the private. And among that basically like 20,000 goes to me, and 2,50,000 goes to angel investor 1, and 2,50,000 goes to angel investor 2. And the rest of the money is with the company, all is with the company only. After that, when venture capitalists come into the picture, and what he deals is that he decided to give 7 crore for 14%. So now as you can see that he agreed to give 7 crore for 40% stake. So what is the current market valuation of a company, so the current market valuation of a company after this venture capitalists come into the picture is basically 7 crore, 14% of 7 crore. So now how the share is divided. So 20 lakh goes to the promoter. Angel one has 2,50,000 as like before. Angel one and angel two. Now the venture capitalist gets venture capitalist gets 7 lakh shares for 14% holding. And the remaining shares are 36% shares are still remain with the company, which 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 have no right to anyone, which are only of the company. And after that, like after this time, what happened is that when the like when after that, when private equity come into the picture, and let's just say that he may be he may be agree to give 60 crore for a 15% stake. So now the percentage holding of all these peoples are still 84%, 40% of the promoter, 5 of the angel investor 1, 5 of the angel investor 2. and 14 for venture capital for VCA venture capitalist. So let's just say 5. I go to venture capitalist 2 for Series B. They also want to invest in my company for 5%, and after that PC, like the private equity holder, gets 15%. So the total is 84%, and the 16% are still remain in the company. So basically this 16% is the one that goes that will go for IPO purpose. So this 16%, and through this 16%, we can basically calculate the number of shares, like how much how many number of shares can we go for public. So basically through this funda, we can say whether how many shares we want to go in public, we want to give for public.
Excuse
So
me,
yeah, yeah,
I
hello,
have a
yeah.
doubt. How will we calculate the net worth of the whole company
So yeah, this is
before
basically
going to
all.
IPO?
Yeah, before going IPO, there are also various models and various models and tools to value a company. Venture capitalists use their own model, private equity person use their own model, and we will deal about this in this workshop. Like maybe in the next few lecture, we will deal about how to value a company. So this
Uh,
is the
Excuse me,
basically
I
the
have a
yeah.
doubt that who is going to decide that how much percentage a company is willing to sell the stakes? Like there should be someone like who will say, okay, 15% is the limit that it has to be with the company. So who is going to set that limit?
Pardon? Hello?
Like you were saying, angel investor will come and buy. So basically, and we will sell the stocks in the IPO also. So who is going to set the limit that okay, 15% should remain with the company itself? We shouldn't sell these 15% stakes.
Okay, so basically this is decided by the this is decided by the person that are already in the company. So when the so at the starting, when there are only angel investor, one angel investor, two, and the promoter. So they do something like they do some deal and decided that 40% goes to me, 5% to angel investor one, and 5% to angel investor two. So this is basically like they decided themselves. There is no other party that let them say that no 40%. So there is no specific rule for that. So the promoter and the investors themselves decided this thing, how much goes to them to there.
Okay,
So
can
yeah.
you tell who decides the price of shares? Who and how?
So basically the public decide at the starting, when like before IPO comes or after the IPO comes.
No, before the IPO comes, because it's the first time the company is giving the IPO, na, to the
Yeah.
private people, to
So
us.
yeah, going forward, going to your question answer. So when the IPO came into the picture, so as we know that we basically, let's just say that at that point of time, company have, let's just say the value of a company is 400 crores. Let's just say this, and then the percentage of share that will remain with the company is 16%. So accordingly the prices, and let's just say that I want to like what are the price that I have for public is basically the 16% of 400 crore. So this is something around 64, like this is something about, like let's just say that value is X. So then I decided that after that I decided that I want to give like 10,000 shares in the market, or something like 1 lakh shares. So the value starting, let's just say that I have for going public, I have around, let's just say that 100 crore. Let's just say that 100 crore, and I want to basically give I want to give like 1 lakh, basically the 1 lakh shares in the market. So the number of shares is basically 1 crore divided by 1 lakh.
Okay.
So this is the price of the stock.
Oh.
So in that way we decided the price of a stock. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other question? Yeah. So going forward, yeah.
Excuse me. So how will be the band decided? Like there's an example of 100 to 130.
Okay, so the band is actually when the companies goes public, so they have to do basically few things. They have to go to the merchant banker. So the merchant banker tell all the things about how a company goes public, what he needs to do, and he basically decide the band, a price band. So the merchant banker are the person who decided the band. So like as I mentioned in this 100 to 130. So yeah, this merchant banker are the one who decided the band of price.
During the IPO, the bidding can be of the price more than that which is mentioned in price band.
Pardon?
I want to say that let price band is 100 to 125, but in bidding, if we are applying for the IPO, we want to buy
Yeah.
shares during IPO, then we can bid for more than 130 also. Or 130 is the limit. You can't bid for more than 130.
Like why do you want to give more than like why do you want to give more than the 130?
Returns
No,
returns are
रिटर्न ज्यादा है, हो सकता है जैसे बर्गर की कंपनी थी, 60 रुपीज
हाँ
का
हाँ हाँ
प्राइस बैंड था, 108 तक
हाँ
बिडिंग हुई थी, उन लोगों को मिला जिनने
हाँ
60-70 तक दी थी बिडिंग, उनको नहीं मिला था.
ओ फॉर दैट केस या मतलब बेसिकली लेकिन जो प्राइस मतलब वो बेसिकली डिपेंड करता है एक बार जब कंपनी पब्लिक आ गई उसके बाद वो चीज डिपेंड करती है कि क्या मतलब आगे फिर बेसिकली मार्केट के सेंटिमेंट तब काम आते हैं जब एक बार कंपनी पब्लिक आ गई लेकिन जब तक कंपनी पब्लिक नहीं हुई है तब तक बेसिकली इस प्राइस बैंड के अंदर ही डील करना पड़ेगा. After the companies goes public, then basically market sentiment, market manipulators, these come into the picture and they basically try to increase the price of a share and decrease the price accordingly.
Okay.
Yeah.
हेलो,
And
क्या आप वो
yeah.
फिर से समझा सकते हो कि वो एक स्टूडेंट ने बोला कि 60-70 में खरीदा तो फिर नहीं
हाँ.
मिला बाद में, वो क्या था?
नहीं ऐसा नहीं होता एक्चुअली. सभी को बिड करने का एक ही रेंज मिलता है जो
हाँ.
कि व्हाट आई थिंक लाइक 60 ही था उसमें, तो 60 पर ही हमें बिड करना होता है. उसके बाद फिर जो है वो बिडिंग कंप्लीट होने के
नहीं,
बाद
बिडिंग में भी
basically
तो
जब
3 बिड्स
हाँ
भरनी होती हैं, एक शायद 60 की भरी हमने, उसके बाद कुछ परसेंटेज इंक्रीज करके बिड भरते हैं, शायद 3
नहीं वो
बिडिंग
जो
भरनी
कट
होती
ऑफ
No, no.
जो होता है वो
See,
वही फिक्स
guys.
होता है.
Sorry to interrupt. I feel that some of the questions I will be able to answer. So please allow me. If you guys allow me, so I will definitely try to answer some of the questions which have recently been raised by the participants.
yeah.
So see, there are certain questions.
Oh.
So the very first question that was asked by one of the participants is about the price band. So the price band is like there are different kind of bidding. So one bidding is called like Dutch kind of bidding. So in Dutch bidding, like you are given a certain kind of bracket. So for example, there is a bracket of 100 rupees and 130 rupees. So 100 rupees is something which is at the lower bracket, and 130 rupees is something which is at the upper bracket. Okay. The question was about can we bid more than the money? So you cannot bid more than the upper bracket. So in case it is suggested that you bid at the upper bracket so that your chances of getting the getting the IPO becomes a little bit higher. Okay, your probability of getting the IPO becomes higher if you bid at like the upper bracket. Okay, so in IPO you cannot exceed your bidding amount more than the upper bracket. Okay, so this is the answer. And under subscription and over subscription is something like as Shaurya very clearly made us understood. So under subscription is for example a company company offers its IPO, say for example it has to offer 100 shares. Okay, so if all the parties, like there are retail investors, there are FIIs, there are different kind of parties which I believe Shaurya will definitely tell you. So if the number of shares are hundreds, for example, and if 99 or 98 or 97 shares are subscribed, then it will be called undersubscribed. In this case, all the shares will be allotted to the to those who have simply asked for the shares. And oversubscription is when you like, for example, there are 100 shares available in the market, or there are 100 shares with the company, and since the company is something which is doing remarkable job, so what you can do, so there's a huge demand. So if the demand arises, and there are people who have shown their interest in buying that particular share is more than 100, for example, it becomes 200 or 300 or 400 something, so that becomes the oversubscription. Okay. And when it comes about one of the question that was asked about, like how the price of an IPO is fixed, again, as Shaurya told you guys, that it's a part of like a huge process. There are different kind of models, and there are merchant bankers, those who are basically behind the offering a kind of IPO that is quite lucrative for you. So there is a term that will come into the picture maybe in some future slides about P, like price to earning ratio or something like that. Then you will
We
guys
will we will
definitely,
discuss about that.
then you will definitely get to understand. So it's a kind of comparison which is made with other kind of companies. Like for example, Burger King, the example which was taken by Shaurya. So Burger King, so there are similar kind of companies already listed into the stock market. So there is a kind of comparison. So as of now, since it's a very very starting your initial stage, we have started this workshop. So I think that will be, things will be much clearer if you guys let the this presentation go on. I hope I am clear, and I think
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you
One
so much
more
for that.
one more doubt, that why don't we bid
Yeah.
at the lower end only? Like for 100 if we get, why don't we bid at that?
Yeah.
Won't it be more
So
profitable?
basically, this
my
as yeah. Go forward. Go
yeah,
forward.
Shaurya, you may go. See, the idea is like it is in IPO. See, IPO is more of sentiment kind of in nature. Okay, it depends upon demand and supply. So if like there is a there was a company which was recently listed called Root Mobile or Happiest Mind, for example. So when so if a company is offering, and if I am bidding at 130 and you are bidding at 100 rupees, okay, so obviously I'm paying 30 rupees more than what you are paying, which is in this case 30% more than what you are paying. So obviously company would look for my bid, not yours. Okay. And it will be again when a particular stock gets listed into the stock market, which is a secondary market, then it's a kind of price discovery that you will definitely get to understand in a later stage. So it is always suggested that you always bid at the cutoff price, because in most of the cases the shares is allotted at the cutoff price at the higher end of the bracket. Okay.
So can we get to know the approximate cutoff price like beforehand?
I see there is no see cutoff price. You just simply put your bid at the cutoff price. So at whatever price, if you are allotted, see again, it's a kind of random procedure that takes place. Okay, so for example, I also applied for Burger King, but I didn't I did not get that particular stock. But some of my friends, like one of my friends who applied in Happiest Minds, and he did receive his allotment. So it's a kind of random procedure, and it depends upon demand and supply. So if a particular stock is something which is very lucrative for people, so there will be a huge demand. And when the demand is huge, ultimately people will like, there will be more and more people
It
who
will
will
be
be
gone towards the upper part. If there is suppose there.
exactly.
So basically, if a company is like has undersubscribed the shares, then even if we bid at the lowest, they may take it. They may take our that.
Exactly.
And if it is oversubscribed, then they will of course take the highest bidders share wala part.
Yeah.
And one more thing, the cutoff price, they release this like just after the IPO, and then we have to decide that how much do we want to pay for one share. Or beforehand, we have to just pay any amount between 100 and 130, and after that they release the cutoff price.
Exactly.
So which one? Like they release the cutoff price after they have taken up all the money from the people, or before?
No. See again, cutoff price is something what you are saying, okay, so cutoff price is something like, for example, so there's a bid, okay, 100 to 130. So this the bracket which is shown in the example is quite large, I believe. Usually it is like, for example, in case of UTI AMC, which was recently listed, it was around 550 to 554. Okay, so it's just a matter of 2 rupees. So it is always suggested, see, to go for either put for the cutoff price or put for the higher bracket. So in whatever case, if you put for cutoff price, and if you are allotted, so you will be allotted at whatever price is decided by the, demand and supply. Okay, so cutoff price, if you put on the cutoff price, so at whatever price the share is listed, and if you are allotted, you are willing to pay that particular amount, and it's usually a matter of 4 to 5 rupees. So it is always suggested to go for the either for the higher bracket or go for the cutoff price. So for example, if you ask for the cutoff price, in case, for example, this is a share which is to be listed between 550 to 555, and if you put on cutoff price, and for example, a company, as per the demand and supply, if it comes about 553, so you will be receiving the shares at 553 rupees. But if you put for 555, again you will be receiving it for 553, because you are willing to pay a little bit more amount.
Acha, if we choose cutoff price, then it is not necessary that we will get the shares.
Yeah. A share allotment, it entirely depends upon some sort of random process. So maybe they take your PAN card number or something like that. So if
Lucky
you are
draw type.
applying, yeah, so if it's oversubscription, if it is oversubscribed, it again depends upon, there are so many factors that are working behind. So for example, in my case, as of now, I did not receive any of the IPOs. Some of my friends did receive Happiest Mind, or some of my friend Rosari Biotech or something. But again, it's a matter of luck, I believe. Not I believe, it is a matter of luck.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I think that is, I think, Shaurya, you should like go ahead.
Yeah. Moving forward. So yeah, now we will discuss about stock market as the IPO come into the picture. So what is stock market? A place where you can buy or sell your shares. It's basically a stock market. And so basically, if you want to, so it is basically like a shopping complex. If you want to buy clothes, then you go to shopping complex. So if you want to buy shares, then you can go to the stock market. So this is all stock market is about. So how to as the stock market come into the picture, so return is the main part of the stock market. So how to calculate returns? So what is return basically? So if let's just say that if you invest 100 rupees in some stock, and let's just say that the price of a stock goes to 101 on the next day, so the return on your so the return is basically 1%. So something like that. Yeah, this is what return is. Then we will so what is stock market index and why it is needed? So basically stock market, so as you might know about NSE and BSE are the basically market, and Nifty and Sensex are basically the index. So why do we need that index? Basically to benchmark our portfolio. So if you want to say that your portfolio overperformed and underperformed, it is basically related to some benchmark. So if let's just say Nifty gives return around 10% in basically 1 year, after 1 year, and your portfolio gives 12%, then your portfolio basically outperform the market and it does well. So that is why this is one of the reason that we need basically benchmark. So we need index, and basically it also tells you about the economic growth of a company. So if the Nifty or Sensex rises, then it also implies that the country is going well. And something, it is not directly proportional, but in some sense we can say that if the Nifty is going good and if the BS is going good, then that basically means that country is doing good, basically, because Nifty, as you know, is basically basically a combination of the 50 companies, which is decided according to the market valuation of these basically companies. So the first 50 companies which have the highest market valuation goes into the Nifty top 50, and BS and Sensex is basically the combination of the 30 companies which is listed in Bombay Stock Exchange. So they are also listed according to the market value, market capitalization.
Like,
So this basically,
ऐसे नहीं हो सकता कि कोई कंपनी निफ्टी में भी और सेंसेक्स उसमें भी हो?
हाँ
Sensex
possible है,
तो
बिल्कुल possible है,
अच्छा,
बिल्कुल
मतलब
possible है।
मोस्ट ऑफ द
लेकिन ये
टॉप 30 उधर के इधर भी हो सकते हैं।
निफ्टीज बेसिकली पूरे इंडिया की 50 कंपनीज और बीएसई सिर्फ जो बॉम्बे लिस्टेड जो 30 कंपनी है वो। तो निफ्टी और बीएसई कैन बी लाइक देयर कैन बी अ कंपनी लाइक जैसे रिलायंस इज बेसिकली कॉमन कंपनीज बिटवीन NSE and BSE. There are so many companies that are common in both NSE and BSE. So it is not the case that कि वो दोनों में अलग अलग होगा। Same
अच्छा, ये
company हो सकता है and price can also vary like ₹1 ₹2 का अंतर भी हो सकता है, मतलब ऐसा भी
अच्छा, मतलब उधर स्टॉक्स कुछ और हैं, अगर दूसरी जगह
नहीं
पे वहाँ
मतलब
स्टॉक्स
इतना नहीं होता ज्यादा
मतलब
नहीं होता
1-2 रुपए
basically।
का।
हाँ, तो ऐसा नहीं है कि बिल्कुल डिट्टो एग्जैक्टली चलेगा। तो जैसे अगर जैसे रिलायंस यहाँ पे ₹1900 का, तो वहाँ पे 1901 या 1899 ऐसे भी कुछ हो सकता है।
मतलब ये निफ्टी वगैरह तो बस एक प्लेटफॉर्म है जहाँ पे अपन स्टॉक का एक्सचेंज कर सकते हैं फिर।
नो, निफ्टी इज नॉट, निफ्टी इज इंडेक्स, निफ्टी प्लेटफॉर्म नहीं है। So as I told you, basically NSE is the National Security Exchange, and BSE, Bombay Stock Exchange, which is basically which is the stock market, and Nifty is the index, which is basically which consists of 50 companies, and which basically decide how our economy is growing and something like that. If Nifty and Sensex is doing good, and this basically means like the combination of these 50 companies doing well and something like that. Yeah. So these are not
हेलो
your voice is
सर, ये
breaking too
पूछना है
much.
कि
Yeah.
कोई भी
हाँ
हाँ सर, ये
बोलो।
पूछना है कि कोई भी कंपनी बीएसई और एनएसई पे अलग अलग लिस्टेड होती है, तो उनके शेयर्स भी बीएसई और एनएसई पे अलग अलग होते हैं?
अभी मैंने बोला ना, मतलब बेसिकली अगर नहीं शेयर्स की प्राइस अलग, वरना आर्बिट्राज आ जाएगा। मतलब आर्बिट्राज एक चीज होती है, अगर बेसिकली बीएसई और एनएसई पे अलग अलग प्राइस होगी। जैसे अगर तुम्हारा अज्यूम कर रहे हो कि रिलायंस एनएसई पे ₹1500 का है, मतलब एनएसई पे ₹1000 का है और बीएसई पे 1500 का है, अज्यूम कर लेते हैं। तो अगर ऐसा होगा तो मैं क्या करूंगा, मैं एनएसई से खरीद के बीएसई में बेच दूंगा और समथिंग लाइक दैट। तो ये तो आर्बिट्राज की अपॉर्चुनिटी आ जाएगी, और इतना इजी तो होगा नहीं पैसे कमाना। तो ये तो पॉसिबल ही नहीं है कि एनएसई और बीएसई पे प्राइस अलग अलग हो, दोनों पे प्राइस सेम होना कंपलसरी है, वरना तो मतलब फ्री के पैसे तो मिलेंगे नहीं ना, समथिंग लाइक दैट।
हाँ सर, वो तो है, लेकिन मैं तो ये
सर,
पूछ रहा हूँ मतलब कि
लेकिन
बीएसई पे जो वो
कंटिन्यू।
शेयर्स होते हैं वो अलग होते हैं, बीएसई के और एनएसई के शेयर्स अलग होते हैं, ऐसे कंबाइंड नहीं होते वो।
जो बेसिकली जो नेट शेयर्स होते हैं कंपनी के पास।
हाँ
हेलो
Sir, can we
Hello?
say that the Nifty 50 is the aggregate of the 50 companies, and it shows the aggregate performance of the company? If Nifty goes higher by 100 points, then the aggregate of those 50 companies is higher.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, sir.
अच्छा, आप ये पॉइंट्स का मतलब समझा सकते हो? मतलब ये तो मेरे को समझ में आ गया कि अगर पॉइंट बढ़ रहा है तो मार्केट अच्छा परफॉर्म कर रही है, पर ये पॉइंट्स है क्या? ये नंबर्स कहाँ से आए? ये पॉइंट्स
we will deal about this. We will discuss about this in the next lecture, and in the like this is basically this workshop is all about कि एक मतलब क्यों इंक्रीज कर रहा है, क्यों डिक्रीज कर रहा है, क्या रीजंस है मार्केट। सो देयर आर सो मेनी थिंग, मार्केट सेंटिमेंट, फंडामेंटल एनालिसिस, टेक्निकल एनालिसिस, which come into the picture, which basically describe the like how the price vary and how the price fluctuates. So yeah, we will discuss about all this thing in detail in the next few lectures.
Sir.
Yeah.
Sir.
Yeah, sure. Like,
In a single portfolio.
Sure, man.
Okay, sorry. Okay. So on a single portfolio can be like if we have purchased one stock from BSE of one stock of Reliance from BSE. And later can be purchased again one stock of Reliance from NSE also on a single portfolio.
Yeah. Like I don't think so. There can be a problem. You can.
Yeah, we can.
That can be done. That can be done. There is no problem.
Yeah, that can be done. There is no problem. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So in whichever platform, NSE, either NSE or in BSE, in whichever the stock has lower value, mostly people will purchase
No,
from that
actually,
that
no.
platform
This
only.
this is the case now. Basically, the prices are almost same on the NSE and BSE. We won't see that much arbitrages in basically
But
stock
I
market. And
but I have seen that there is little bit variation in both most of the time. Like
So if you
little bit variation.
purchase something with less amount, then you will sell also at less amount, na? So there won't be any
yeah,
much profit involved.
yeah.
Okay,
If you buy
okay.
it and
हाँ,
if you buy at
1 रुपया
NSE,
वहां
then you
पे
have to
कम
sell
देगा
at
तो
NSE.
बेचेगा भी 1 रुपया कम
Yeah,
पे ना, तो कुछ फर्क नहीं
वही
पड़ेगा।
वही वही अगर
Okay,
तुमने NSE से बाय करा तो तुम्हें NSE पे सेल करना पड़ेगा, अगर तुमने BSE से बाय करा तो तुम्हें BSE पे सेल करना पड़ेगा. So this yeah.
okay.
So after that, like these are basically some of the jargons of stock market, bull market, bear market. If you see like Sarshad Mehta, so then you all know about what is bull market and bear market. If you won't, then I will tell you. So if the prices of a stock goes up, then we say then the market is bull market, and if the prices go down, then we say that the market is bear market. Yeah, as simple as that. So what is trend? So trend refers to basically a particular direction in which the market is going. So long basically is to buy a stock. Short is basically to so let's just say that if I assume that the price of Reliance goes down or like tomorrow. So what I can do is that I can borrow a share from my broker and then sell that stock at like on today. And what I can do that for like I at tomorrow, as I know that the price goes down, I buy that stock and return back to my broker, and in that way I earn some money, which is called a short, which basically mean that you don't sell the stock which you buy, you just sell the stock which you borrow from someone else, from the broker. So what
The
is required of
short term is used for intraday trading time,
no,
or it
yeah,
can be of
basically
3 days, 4 days.
it can be of basically in India in market it is of intraday, and in derivative or in options you can short your position for more than a day, for maybe a week, like depend on the expiry date of options. And in basically in the foreign market, there are some market where shorting are allowed, where there are some market where shorting are not allowed. So yeah, that depends on the
Okay, okay.
market.
Nora,
So
what is that
basically
derivative that you just said? What is a
so
derivative?
basically derivative are also the index of like, as like stock market, there are also derivative market which consists of forward, futures and options. So which basically are the like we will deal about this derivative market in detail in the next lecture. So basically derivative market are the one whose value are derived from the underlying asset. So options, futures, forward and swaps, these are basically the component of this derivative market. So derivative market is a very broad subject. I can't just explain in brief about this. So we have like separate lecture for that derivative market also.
अच्छा, बुल और बियर मार्केट आप थोड़ा सा और एक्सप्लेन कर सकते हो?
बेसिकली अगर आज 100 है किसी मतलब रिलायंस की, अगर आज की प्राइस 1900 है, कल 1905 हो गई, अगले दिन 1906 हो गई, फिर उसके अगले दिन 2000 हो गई, फिर 2050 हो गई, तो दैट मीन्स की प्राइस इंक्रीज कर रही है, तो दैट इज कॉल्ड एज द बुल मार्केट. और बियर मार्केट इसका उल्टा, अगर आज 1000 है, कल 500 हो गई, फिर अगले दिन 400 हो गई, तो अगर प्राइस कंसेक्यूटिवली डिक्रीज कर रही है तो बियर मार्केट. देयर इज आल्सो साइडवेज मार्केट व्हिच इज a flat market, not increasing, not decreasing, remain constant. So there is bull market, bear market and sideways market. So yeah, there are basically commonly 3 type of market. So yeah, then as some of you tell about the intraday position, which is basically to square off your position within a day. You can't hold your share for more than one day. So so there are some advantage of intraday trading, which is basically you don't need to pay full price of a stock. So let's just say that the price of Reliance is 1900. So you don't need to pay 1900. You just need to pay around 200 or something like that, 250. and you can buy that share. You can buy that share, but the condition is you need to square off your position as before the market close. So yeah, this is basically the intraday position. OHLC is open, high, low, close, which is the open price, high price of a day or a month or a basically month or a minute, depends on the like time period in which you are seeing. So this is the open, high, low is the basically lowest price, closing price is the price at which the market close. So volume are basically the number of share that are buy and sell on a particular stock on a particular day or particular minute, depends.
Sorry, can you
That
explain the term square off once again?
Yes,
square
please.
off is basically to exit your position.
Yeah.
Basically to exit your position. Yeah. So if you, let's just say that if I buy some share at the market open, and basically I can exit my position, that means I just sell the stock that I've bought. So square off is basically to exit your position. So you have a position and you want to exit your position. For that you can just square off. So this is a term used to basically describe that you are exiting your position. That's it.
Means it is simply means selling the shares.
Sorry, pardon?
Means if we sell the shares, means it is square off. Does it mean square?
Yeah, the complete one transaction is square off when you complete your transaction. Either
Yeah,
you sell first and then buy
yeah.
first. Then also you
Yeah,
can say that you have squared off your
yeah,
position.
you can, yeah. Vice versa also hold. If you short some position, and if at the end you can square off, or you can square off your position by buying that stock which you short at day or at basically at some point of time. So square off is basically to complete or to exit your position, whatever you want to say.
ये शॉर्टिंग कैसे काम करती है?
शॉर्टिंग अभी मैंने बताया, जैसे बेसिकली मेरे पास कोई स्टॉक नहीं है, लेकिन मुझे पता है कि कल कोई भी XYZ कंपनी है, उसका स्टॉक की प्राइस मतलब बेसिकली कम होने वाली है. तो what I can do is that I can go to my like brokerage. I can go to my brokerage person. I ask them to basically borrow some stock for that XYZ company. So for that, what I can do is that I have that XYZ company stock. I go to the market, I sell that stock, have that money, and on the next day, as the market goes down, I buy that stock in basically the less amount, then I sell tomorrow, and basically then return the stock to the broker, and in that way I earn some money. So this is what shorting works.
Borrowing a stock मतलब exactly क्या?
borrow मतलब basically तुम मतलब वैसे तो मतलब in true sense basically अगर तुम जब borrow मतलब तुम वो stock तुम मतलब कोई वो नहीं होता process कि तुम पहले borrow कर रहे हो फिर sell कर रहे हो. तुम directly जाके अपने trading account में जाओगे और तुम sell कर दोगे. मतलब अगर तुम publicly trade किसी कंपनी पे अगर short कर रहे हो तो तुम अपने brokerage account पे जाओगे, तुम direct short कर दोगे, मतलब तुम direct sell कर दोगे stock without buying that actually in the first
अच्छा, तो हमने बाय नहीं किया, सिर्फ थोड़े टाइम के लिए बोरो किया और फिर सेल कर दिया.
हाँ, फिर सेल कर दिया और फिर बेसिकली बाद में बाय करा, और उसके बाद हमारे पास अब स्टॉक आ गए, हमने लौटा दिए अपने ब्रोकर को.
अच्छा, ओके.
Chaurav, for how long can we keep the borrowed stock?
For like in Indian market, we can do it for a single day, like for an intraday, and for basically for options and derivative, and for derivative market, you can hold your shorting position for number of days. That depends on the expiration of that derivatives. So which is basically a different concept. Don't get confused. We will deal about that in the later stages. But for the equity market, you can only borrow your stock for a particular day, for single day. So yeah, going forward, so basically these are some of the terminologies. So stop loss is basically, let's just say कि मैंने अभी कोई भी स्टॉक खरीदा 100 रुपए का और जैसे ही उसकी प्राइस 95 हो जाएगी, मैंने मतलब पहले से स्टॉप लॉस सेट कर दिया कि जैसी प्राइस 95 हो रही है मैं अपनी पोजीशन को स्क्वायर ऑफ कर दूंगा। तो बेसिकली वो मैं पहले से मतलब ये होता है स्टॉप लॉस की अपने रिस्क को पहले से डिफाइन करना, दिस इज कॉल्ड स्टॉप लॉस।
लेकिन अगर स्टॉप लॉस पे कोई बायर ही नहीं है तो कैसे होगा? कोई 95 पे कोई लेना ही नहीं चाह रहा।
तो तुम्हारी कैंसिल हो जाएगी, फिर तुम्हारी पोजीशन कैंसिल हो जाएगी। बेसिकली जब तक कोई बायर नहीं मिलता तब तक वो मतलब बेसिकली प्राइस 95 हो रही है क्योंकि उसके बायर है। मतलब क्यों प्राइस 95 हो रही है किसी भी स्टॉक की?
नहीं, जैसे वो
अगर
95 96 तक कोई मान लिया, उसके बाद वो
हाँ
95 पे आई थी तो बहुत लोगों के लगा रखे थे, 1000 शेयर थे, लेकिन बायर सिर्फ 100 शेयर के थे। तो उसके बाद कोई ट्रांजैक्शन होना ही नहीं चाह रहा था, तो वो मतलब तो फिर स्टॉप लॉस का कोई सेंस बचेगा या नहीं?
बेसिकली मतलब ये केस होता नहीं है, मार्केट काफी लिक्विड होती है, काफी ज्यादा मतलब बेसिकली काफी ज्यादा शेयर होते हैं मार्केट में, और मतलब मोस्ट ऑफ मतलब सारे जो भी इक्विटी मार्केट होती है वो इतनी काफी लिक्विड होती है कि इजीली अगर इजीली तुम्हारी पोजीशन स्क्वायर ऑफ हो जाती है, और अगर नहीं हो पाई तो तुम्हारी ऑर्डर कैंसिल हो जाएगा, दैट्स इट। उस मतलब कुछ ऐसा कुछ खास नहीं होगा, तुम्हारा ऑर्डर कैंसिल हो जाएगा, फिर दोबारा से तुम ऑर्डर प्लेस कर सकते हो विद बेसिकली द रीडिफाइंड स्टॉप लॉस।
ठीक, ओके।
तो
ये
हाँ
डेरिवेटिव का मतलब क्या था? आपने बहुत बार बोला बट समझा नहीं।
या एक्चुअली आगे के जो लेक्चरर्स में हम पूरा मतलब बेसिकली पूरा एक लेक्चर है डेरिवेटिव के ऊपर। तो जैसे स्टॉक मार्केट होते हैं वैसे डेरिवेटिव मार्केट भी होती है, वो जैसे फ्यूचर्स ऑप्शन फॉरवर्ड ये सारी चीज़ होती है, ये सब डेरिवेटिव मार्केट में होते हैं। तो वी विल डिस्कस अबाउट दैट इन लेटर चैप्टर्स,
Does
लेटर लेक्चर्स।
squaring off means selling all the shares at once? Like if I'm having 10 shares of some company,
No, basically not selling off. You can square off your position by buying the stock if you short your stock at the first place. So it won't basically mean to just basically sell your stock. You can also buy your stock. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So MIS is basically margin on intraday security, which is, as I told you, if you go to any brokerage account, like just say Zerodha, then there are if you want to buy a stock, then there are basically two terms, CNC and MIS. So CNC is basically cash and carry. That means to hold your position for as number of days as you want. And MIS is basically to hold your position for a intraday for a single day. So yeah. Going forward.
Holding a position is like we are having that share, means we have bought that share.
Yeah, you are having that share. You are just having that share. You are doing nothing with that. You have that share in your account, in your brokerage account. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah. So going forward, basically, yeah, this is clearing and settlement process. So let me tell you about this. So if you buy some stock, let's just say on 18th January, if you purchase 10 stock of Reliance Industry, then basically this is the T day in which you buy 10 stock of Reliance. So on that day, the amount is dedicated from your brokerage account. So on 19th, and let's just say you hold your positions at 19 on T+1 day. Basically, you sell the stocks. You hold for on a single day, and on the next day, you sell your stocks. So it is also called a buy today, sell tomorrow, something like intraday trading. So this is buy today and sell tomorrow. So
अच्छा, तो इसमें क्या ब्रोकरेज कम जाती है? बाय टुडे सेल टुमारो में, तो ब्रोकरेज पे कोई अंतर नहीं है?
बेसिकली अगर तुम इक्विटी मार्केट में डील कर रहे हो तो इसमें अंतर नहीं होगा। अगर तुम डेरिवेटिव यार वो छोड़ो अभी डेरिवेटिव, हाँ इसमें अभी अंतर नहीं होगा इक्विटी मार्केट में। तो
ओके, थैंक यू।
हाँ बट बेसिकली अगर तुमने मतलब 18 को खरीदा, अपनी पोजीशन होल्ड करी 18 तक, 19 को बेच दिया, तो तुम्हारे जो पैसे होंगे मतलब जैसे 10 स्टॉक के अगर रिलायंस का एक स्टॉक 2000 रुपये का है तो तुम्हारे 10 स्टॉक के 20,000 रुपये चले जाएंगे उसी समय अकाउंट से। लेकिन अगर अज्यूम करो कि अगले दिन प्राइस हो गई 19 अभी कितनी थी 2000, तो अगले दिन अगर प्राइस हो गई 2050 एंड यू वांट टू स्क्वायर ऑफ योर पोजीशन एंड यू वांट टू सेल द बाय स्टॉक, तो basically the profit that you gained don't directly come into your account as you sell the stock. So if you sell on the T+1 day, then the profit you get is on T+3 days. So there are settlement days in which you get your money. You don't instantaneously get your money in the account. So this is all about clearing and settlement process, that you don't get instant money in your trading account. You would get like profit you would get after the settlement day, after the settlement day. So basically this is the 2 days. So if you buy on 18, if you sell on 19, then you might get your profit on basically 21 or 22, something like that, if there is no weekdays between them, weekend, sorry.
जो पहले बताया था कि 20,000 चले जाएंगे अकाउंट में, वो समझ में नहीं आया फिर से।
सॉरी, सो वो मैं बोल रहा था कि जैसे मान लो
पहले
2000
आपने बताया था कि हाँ यही वाला।
हाँ, सो लेट्स जस्ट से कि अभी मतलब रिलायंस का एक स्टॉक है 2000 रुपए का, एंड इफ आई बाय 10 स्टॉक, then in that case so basically in that case what is happen is that the amount is debited from my account. On T+day, if I want to sell that stock, I can simply sell that stock, but the profit I get is on the basically T+2 or T+3 day. Actually this is not so, it is as simple as that. It is not as complex. What I don't know what are you thinking, but it is as simple as that. तुमने कोई स्टॉक खरीदा, तुमने उसके पैसे दे दिए तुम्हारे,
में कुछ और।
हाँ चले
ये ऐसा
नहीं तो
केवल वनडे में नहीं होगा ना, हर केस में होगा ना।
हाँ मतलब कितने भी टाइम हम लोग रखे, मतलब 100 साल बाद बेच रहे हैं तो भी 2-3 दिन बाद प्रॉफिट मिलेगा उसका।
वो यहाँ मतलब वो डिपेंड नहीं करता ना कि तुम कितने टाइम तक होल्ड कर रहे हो। सेटलमेंट तुम्हारा मतलब तुम कितने टाइम तक के होल्ड कर रहे हो, उसका कोई रिलेशन नहीं है, वो तुम्हें सेटलमेंट डे के बाद ही मिलेगा।
हाँ मतलब वही ठीक।
हाँ
हेलो,
भी
हाँ जैसे हम लोग कोई शेयर बाई करते हैं तो वो कंपनी से बाई करते हैं, और जब बोरो करते हैं तो कोई मतलब कोई दूसरे स्टॉक बायर से बोरो करते हैं, या फिर
हम कभी कंपनी से बाई नहीं करते। हम बेसिकली देयर आर सम मार्केट। सो बेसिकली मैं ज़ीरोधा बताऊंगा, जैसे अगर मेरा ज़ीरोधा पे अकाउंट है, मैं ज़ीरोधा ब्रोकर से बोलूंगा, वो मेरे लिए बाय करेगा शेयर, और वो भी कंपनी से बाय नहीं करेगा, वो NSE से बाय करेगा, और फिर वो बेसिकली वो स्टॉक मुझे मिलेगा। तो मतलब कंपनी का तो कोई लेना देना ही नहीं आता। कंपनी अपने स्टॉक एक जगह पे रजिस्टर करा देती है, वो स्टॉक रहते हैं वहां पर, फिर ब्रोकर बेसिकली जो हमारा ब्रोकर होता है वो यार कोई हेलो, काफी नॉइज आ रहा है बैकग्राउंड से, कोई अपना वो कर देगा क्या, म्यूट कर दोगे?
बेसिकली क्या ऐसा होता है, मतलब जैसे 50 लाख शेयर्स मार्केट में कंपनी ने स्टार्टिंग में लिस्टिंग के टाइम पे निकाले थे, वही 50 लाख घूमते रहेंगे, मतलब ब्रोकर के थ्रू कोई बेचेगा कोई खरीदेगा।
हाँ नहीं, बेसिकली ज्यादा भी हो सकते हैं। if company wants they can issue more share, and if company wants they can buy back their shares. So yeah, we will deal about this corporate action and effect on stocks.
Excuse me. Actually, I was asking if I bought if one share is of 20 rupees and I bought 10 shares for 200 rupees, and after 10 years, let's say it turns to be 25 rupees per stock, and now I'm going to sell all those 10 stocks for 250 rupees. Then those 250 rupees will be credited to my account, or you are talking about only the profit amount, that is 50 rupees will be means that
that 50 rupees only, that 50 rupees only will become after the 2 days. That 200 will come instantaneously.
Okay.
Yeah.
ये NSE और BSE बेसिकली ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस है क्या कोई, मतलब जो ये सब शेयर कंट्रोल करते हैं,
जो डील कर? हाँ।
ओके
तो बेसिकली स्टॉक एक्सचेंजेस है, मतलब स्टॉक एक्सचेंज का मतलब ये हो गया ना, स्टॉक एक्सचेंज करना एक जगह से दूसरी जगह।
Can we buy using Grow app instead of using broker?
Yes.
Yeah, you can. There are plenty of There are plenty of platform you can buy, like something like Zerodha, Upstock, and various broker
Yeah,
you can.
there are many broker I know, but actually I use Grow app. So I was just asking that if I am using Grow app, then in that case, how I will do like which you were telling initially, like.
Okay. Yeah. Actually, yeah, I will answer your question at the end of the lecture. Actually, मतलब वो तो पूरा सिखाना पड़ेगा ना कैसे buy करते हैं. तो I'll
Okay.
I'll answer your question at the
Sorry,
end of the lecture.
hello.
हाँ. Yeah.
I think we should have question answer session at the end. Otherwise, it is
Yeah,
breaking the rhythm of the lecture.
Yeah, that is what I'm saying, that we have the session, but yeah, if you have any doubt you can ask, but let the other also enjoy the,
Yeah,
if
but
the
I
other
mean,
is enjoying. But if yeah, as you are saying is correct, absolutely fine. We should let that depend on you, like you guys. I won't interrupt you to ask the question. So this is on you. If you want to buy now, you can buy. Or if you want to ask now, you can ask. If you want to ask at the end, you can ask at the end. Yeah.
okay, no
So
problem.
yeah, but that basically, as you told, that basically deserve the return. So it is. So it is good if you ask your question at the end of the lecture.
I think it would be a nice idea if people would ask questions at the end of the when you have a discussion kind of thing. So
Exactly.
you go with the thing. Those who have their queries, they simply write their queries in their notebook or something. And at the end of that, after you complete your presentation, then people may ask the questions. Okay.
Yes.
I think that would be just a suggestion.
Yes. Also.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Go on.
Yeah, going forward, so basically we will discuss about some of the corporate action and how they affect the stock prices. So first of all, the dividend. So what is dividend? Is basically, let's just say that in a particular quarter or in a particular year, a company earned a profit of around 2 million or something like that, and so what they can do is that they have two options: either to reinvest their money in some other project, or to basically reward that money to their shareholders. So this is what dividend is. If you, let's just say that Reliance want to reward the shareholder by providing dividend. So what they can do is that basically just give the dividend to every shareholder. So this is the extra money that you get apart from the return you get. This is the extra money that you get if you hold some shares of a particular XYZ company. And it is historically proven that a company that provides more dividend are likely to grow in future. That means the return on doesn't mean that if a company is giving you dividend, then it would grow in future. The prices of their stock would grow, but there is some relationship between the dividend and the price of stocks. And it is like seeing that basically the dividend affect the price of a stock in a positive way. So if the company is providing dividend, then it is more likely to that the price is more likely to up in basically some amount in future. So yeah.
अच्छा,
So
डिविडेंड
a
स्टॉक
bond,
बेचने के बाद मिलता है या फिर मतलब जब अनाउंस होता है तभी मिल जाता है?
नहीं, वो बेसिकली वो भी बाद में मिलता है, तभी जब अनाउंस होता है तभी नहीं मिलता.
2-3
So
दिन
yeah.
बाद.
हाँ. So after that we have bonus issue. So this is also a form of stock, like it is also a form of stock dividend. So it is also a way of rewarding the companies, just like dividend. So now we have stock split. So if a company feels that the price of a stock is too much to buy for a retail investor, then what they can do is basically to split their stock and to increase the number of outstanding stock in the market to 2x. So if let's just say it split from 1000 to 500, then the number of shares automatically increases from 10 lakh to 20 lakh, something like that. So this is what stock split is. And so as I told you, buyback of shares is basically to buy their own. If a company feels that the prices of their shares is too low, and if they are optimistic about their company project and their company expand, or basically, so what they can do is that they can just buy back their shares. So basically this is also an indicator that there might be a chance that in future the prices of a share grow. So you can, as someone was asking how to check upon why to, like, what shares to buy, how to buy, and what are the terminologies include in like buying of share, and why the prices goes up. So these are some of the feature, like dividend. So these are some of the feature. There are many other, like there are many other features that also affect the prices of a stock, but these are also the feature that affects the price of a particular stock. Yeah. So going forward, so these are basically, so I discuss about the corporate action and actions and how they impact the stock prices. Now I'm telling you about the economic event and that impact the market. So yeah, pardon. Yeah, I go forward. So monetary policy is one of the most important economic event that affected the price of a stock. Then inflation also basically increases basically affect the prices of a stock. And yeah, index of industrial production and purchasing manager index, we will discuss about all this thing in detail in the next lecture. That is why I'm not going in detail in all this term. So going forward, as we are running out of time actually, like, so then we have budget. So like, as you see that if the company releases their budget, and if the budget is positive in term of market sentiment, then it might be the chance that the prices of a stock increases. So budget is a very important indicator, and most of the like educational, like most of the institutional investor, like most rely on the budget of a company to basically invest their money. So budget is a very important factor to look into if you want to invest in some money in some company. Yeah. And then some corporate earning announcement. So as you read in the news about so many, like the return in, so the company year on year growth is increasing or decreasing, or quarter growth is increasing or decreasing as some percentage. So these are the thing that can affect the prices of a stock. Yeah. Going forward, yeah, so basically now I'll tell you about, like, if you are like beginner, and if you want to invest if you want to do trading or you want to do investing. So basically trading and investment are different thing. Trading means trading means to buy your shares and sell it tomorrow, today, or if you want to invest for a short period of time, like maybe for a month or more than, like, not for more than 3 months. And investment means is to basically invest your money for longer term, for a year, 2 year, or something like that. So there are two different things. Trading and investing are two different things. So there are so many, as I told you, there are so many tools and model for trading as well as for investing. So this, so fundamental, and so if you want to buy some stock, so what are the factors that you could look into? So let's just say that if I am like, if I want to buy some stock of some particular company, so how could I decide? So there are some, like, and so there are fundamental analysis, technical analysis, quantitative analysis, and the market. So the outside view consists of the market manipulation, market sentiment, the news that come into the market. So the thing like that. So fundamental analysis we will deal in the later in from the, like, from tomorrow. Basically we will deal about this fundamental analysis in detail. Like, if after like doing the workshop you have like very strong motivation of basically of invest in a particular companies, you must know about so many tools and method to invest in a fundamental point of view. And basically we will touch about technical analysis also. So the candlestick pattern and the technical indicators and how they affect the prices of a stock. So these are the technical analysis we will discuss about this. Quantitative analysis is like using quant and machine learning algorithms to basically value to basically return to calculate positive return for a particular investment. So quantitative analysis is for that, and market sentiment is one of the thing that could affect the prices of a stock. So if the market sentiment is positive, is like positive, then it is likely the chance that the prices of a particular stock is also increase. So yeah, so these are basically a point of view you should look into if you want to buy some share, if you want to invest your money, or if you want to buy some shares. So so there are some trading terminal like Zerodha, Upstocks and stuff like that, and where you can go to and trade and buy the shares. So basically there are two type of market: the stock market and the derivative market. And in the derivative market there are future, there are options. In options there are call options, put options, and there are so many trading strategies for this call and put options. We will discuss about that in detail in later chapter, in later session also. Sorry. uh, yeah, so yeah, we will finish this over here. And now if you have any query, you can just ask me. And yeah, so the next lecture, so the tomorrow sorry, pardon, so the next lecture, so tomorrow we will discuss about accounting 101 sort of thing, like balance sheet, income statement, and profit and loss statement. So we will discuss about the accounting 101 type of thing in the today lecture. So which is basically the base of the fundamental analysis. So if you want to do fundamental analysis, then you must know about this accounting 101 thing. So yeah, we will discuss about this in the tomorrow lecture. So yeah, going forward,
Hello.
you can now ask your question.
हेलो मिस्टर सौर, जैसे
Yeah.
कोई कंपनी है, ठीक है, तो उनको फंड अपना रेज करना है, उनको अपना कैपिटल इंक्रीज करना है, तो इसके लिए वो लोग कंपनी शेयर इशू कर रहे हैं। शेयर वो लोग इसीलिए इशू करते हैं कि क्योंकि उनका फंड इंक्रीज हो। तो एक्चुअली what should we see first before buying any share? Like, can you describe by giving an example using two different companies, like one is A company, second one is B company, तो जिसका शेयर मतलब दोनों को सेम प्रॉफिट इंक्रीज, दोनों ने सेम नंबर ऑफ शेयर्स इशू किए, बट एक का प्राइस कम है, एक का प्राइस ज्यादा है, तो हम लोगों को क्या देखना चाहिए बिफोर बाइंग एनी शेयर? लाइक जो शेयर कम मतलब हम लोगों को कम प्राइस पे ज्यादा शेयर मिल रहे हैं जिस कंपनी के, शुड बी बाय दैट शेयर? हेलो,
he left, I think. He's not here.
Sure, he's
not. Sure, you're muted.
Yeah, so I'm saying that the price, so basically there is no as such relationship, like if the price of a stock is less, you should buy that stock. No, not at all. So the return of a stock depends. There is no finding that if the prices of a stock is less, like if you compare two stocks. So let's just say if I want to compare something like Reliance and some other stock, let's just XYZ stock. So the prices of Reliance is 2000 and the price of XYZ share is 200. So no, so what you are saying that you should buy the 200 wala share. So that is not the case at all. That is not the case at all. So if you want, so basically if both the companies in the same sector, then there are so many tools to find which company are doing better. So yeah, we will discuss about all this stuff. So this
वो तो एनालिसिस करनी पड़ेगी, उसके लिए तो एनालिसिस करनी पड़ेगी। आई अंडरस्टैंड दैट, बट हम लोग ऐसे पहले से एनालिसिस नहीं कर सकते ना। हम लोग को तो मतलब एक आइडिया ही ले सकते हैं कि हाँ मतलब रिलायंस इज क्वाइट गुड कंपनी टू इन्वेस्ट। हेलो, आर यू लिसनिंग ना?
Yeah, I'm listening.
So I understand, like we can take a different company like Samsung. First one is no, not Samsung. You can take Adani Green, something like that. First one is Reliance Jio and other one is Adani Green. So let's compare. It is not. It's a let's take hypothetical condition. So if we know that Reliance is giving a good dividend, so we are trying to
Yeah,
get
okay,
Reliance share. So should we?
So you were saying,
we see that
yeah,
low cost
yeah, going
or
forward.
good dividend? What should be preferred? Low cost share or good dividend?
Actually, like there are so many different components you should look into if you want to buy your share. So if you want to if you want to basically compare between some Adani, if maybe some Adani Green and some other companies, or some, like if you want to go into the aviation sector, and if you want to compare between like Air India and Indigo, so what you can, so there are so many there are so many indicator like you should look into, like there are so many fundamental ratios, there are so many financial ratios, there are market sentiment you should look into when you want to like compare between these two companies. So
Okay, so thorough
yeah,
analysis is recommended. Like it is very. We should
very
thoroughly
important. Yeah.
analyze all the things. Then we should prefer anyone.
Just look into the price of a stock. You can't say that you want to buy or sell the stock. You have to do technical, fundamental, and market sentiment to basically buy the stock. Yeah, going forward.
Okay.
Shaurya, I'm Prem. See, I just want to ask about this arbitrage you are mentioning.
So basically,
you said
arbitrage
that,
is the
no.
Yeah,
I understood what the arbitrage, but
Yeah.
the problem is you are saying if we buy a stock in NSE, we can't sell it in BSE, right? Then where does arbitrage come? If the price, if there is a price, even if there is a price difference, there is no trading between internal means no share is going from NSE to BSE, right?
let me give you an example of like arbitrage. So arbitrage basically means that तुम ले लो like dollar ले लो और rupee ले लो. So in foreign exchanges there are so many places where you can find this arbitrage opportunities. In derivative market you also find this arbitrage. So basically in stock market there is no chance at all to find this arbitrage opportunity, as the market is very efficient. But in the derivative market and in basically in options and in the foreign exchange and basically in currency market, there are the possibility of finding arbitrage opportunities. So like I can't give you just example, because for that you have to go in detail about this commodity in that forex trading and in basically in the options trading. So if you know about this, then I will give you that example of how the arbitrage opportunity like arises in the futures market or in the options market.
So in
or
stock
in
market it's
basically
not
the
possible,
currency
right?
market.
In stock market it's not possible.
No, I think the chances of getting arbitrage is very low in stock market. Yeah.
Fine, thank you.
Hello. Excuse me. Can we get a recording of this video?
Yeah. You get the recording of this lecture.
एक्सक्यूज मी, मेरा क्वेश्चन था कि व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन बीएसई एंड एनएसई, मतलब ये दो क्यों हैं और किसके थ्रू ट्रेडिंग करें, हम ये कैसे चूज करें?
बेसिकली मतलब ये डिपेंड नहीं करता, मतलब किसके थ्रू ट्रेडिंग करो, तुम दोनों में से किसी के भी थ्रू ट्रेडिंग कर सकते हो, तुम्हारे रिटर्न पे कोई इफेक्ट नहीं पड़ेगा इफ यू ट्रेड थ्रू बीएसई और थ्रू एनएसई. You might won't get any like change in the return of yours in your portfolio.
तो ये डिफरेंस क्या है, मतलब तो ये है क्यों, मतलब दो फिर?
Basically like as सिर्फ NSE or BSE नहीं है, there are other exchanges also. There are Gujarat Stock Exchange also. So they are very small stock exchanges. All NSE and BSE are just the renowned name. And like why are they arises as like these are basically the stock exchanges and the place where you can buy or share you can buy or sell your stock. And basically why are they arises, मतलब क्यों होना चाहिए यार? मतलब
ऐसा होता है कि
क्योंकि
मतलब किसी दिन उसमें
अरे
अपर सर्किट
इसको
लग गया
सिंपल
और
से
उधर
समझो,
नहीं
इसको
लगा।
अरे सिंपल सी बात है, इसमें कुछ प्रॉब्लम वाली बात नहीं है। कोई चीज की दो दुकानें हो सकती हैं, जस्ट
वही वही
इज
वही
एज
मतलब
सिंपल एज दैट, ओके।
राइट
In order to provide some sort of efficient services, so there are two different kind of stock exchanges with us, Bombay being the oldest one,
not only
and
today
national and NSE is the newest one, so having some sort of higher edge in terms of technology and something. So ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि एक दुकान है तो दूसरी भी दुकान हो सकती है, so उसको तुम बिल्कुल
वही
नॉर्मल
वही
तरीके से समझो, और कुछ भी इसका ज्यादा लॉजिक में जानने की कोई ज्यादा जरूरत नहीं है।
ऐसा तो नहीं है कि दोनों में लड़ाई रहती है कि NSE वर्सेस BSE चलता है, कुछ ऐसा सीन है?
ना ना ना, there is nothing like
नहीं
that, there is
ऐसा
nothing like that.
no there is
वो एक
nothing
ही
like
टीम के
that,
दो
yeah.
प्लेयर है मतलब।
Sir, there are
No,
many
यार
different छोटी दुकान also ना,
yeah
like
मतलब basically
different.
मतलब हाँ as like as someone mentioned कि एक चीज की कितनी भी मतलब एक चीज तुम मतलब बेसिकली एक चीज तुम कहीं से भी खरीद सकते हो, जरूरी नहीं है कि तुम्हें मतलब ऐसा नहीं है कि हाँ कोई मतलब कंपनी का ब्रांड का वो नहीं है कि एक लेवाइस की है और एक कोई लोकल ब्रांड का है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है। मतलब दोनों एक ही जैसे लेवल पे, तुम NSE पे भी जाके कर सकते हो, तुम BSE पे भी ट्रेडिंग कर सकते हो, whatever you want.
Hello.
और मतलब बेसिक
Yeah, okay. So like in the starting you were talking about promoters, angel investors and all that. I had a doubt on that part. Like, hello.
Can you speak louder? Can you speak louder?
Hello.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Can I talk about what?
Hello. Like, is my voice audible?
Yeah, you can write your query in the chat also if possible.
No, like your voice is audible to me. Can you hear me or not?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, so in the starting you were talking about the promoters, angel investors, these things, right? So I had a doubt in that part. See, for example, we have an idea. A person X has an idea. He's starting a company. He's going to an angel investor. So you said that X is getting 40% of share. Angel investor 1 is getting 5%. The angel investor 2 is getting the other 5%. These are all equities, right? You're talking about equities, right? Equities in the company.
Yeah.
They are the
I am
equities,
talking
right?
about the I'm talking about the equity. I'm talking to say.
So X person's equity in the company is 40%. So 40% of the profit goes to X. That is what you meant, right?
40% of the profit. Yeah, 40%. So if the value of a company, like let's just say if the value of a company current is 5 crore, and after 2 years, if the value started to 7 crore, then the profit is also like current. So the profit is also like 7 crore. So the 2 crore is the profit, 2 crore into 40%. Something.
Yeah. Okay, so that I get it. Now, if a VC comes in, we are offering a percentage of the company, right?
Pardon?
If a VC, if a venture capitalist comes, we are offering a percentage of the company.
Yeah, we are offering the percentage of the company. Yeah.
So the percentage is usually decided by?
Basically, these are decided by the investor and the promoter of a company. They are not as a specific rule that नहीं मुझे 50% ही मिलेगा, अगर कोई investor आएगा उससे 60% ही मिलेगा.
Yeah.
There is no specific rule for that. Yeah. They are decided by the person, the investor and the promoter and the people that are in the company.
But company का owner तो वही होगा जिसके पास majority of the shares होंगे कि नहीं?
Yeah. हाँ वो है.
So
ऐसे मतलब
so that
ज़्यादा share बेच दिए कंपनी चली गई.
No, I'm not talking about shares. I'm not yet talking about shares. Wait for a second, please. Say you have offered VC some 20%. Now the company's 70% is in different people's hand and 30% is in company's hand. Are you getting me?
Yeah.
So for 20%, say they have put in some 20 CR in the company. So the total net value of the company has increased to 27 crores, right?
Yeah, I'm not able to hear you properly. Can you just write your query in the chat? Hello, yeah. Hello.
मेरा query नहीं है, like hello.
हाँ बोलो. Hello, yeah.
So like I'll repeat again once again. Like, say VC is offering, we are offering VC 20%, and VC is investing say 20 crores. So now the net value of the company has grown to 27 crores. But the 40% of 27 crores will still be in the hands of the promoters, right? So basically, what is VC getting out of this?
What is VC getting out of this? So basically the profit, like if the, let's just say the VC get 14% share in, let's just say 7 crore, or not talking about how much money they invest, let's just say that they get the 14% stake in a company. So after, like, and the current market and the current valuation of a company is, let's just say X. Then after 2 years, if the prices, if the valuation of a company goes 10x, then the profit of the virtual capital VC is also like 14% of the profit of overall company. So from 10x, from X to 10x, the profit is 9x, and the VC get 14% of the 10x.
Okay. And the last part of the query is, like, if the VC wants to quit.
If the VC wants to quit, they can't quit like before IPO. Like before IPO, they have to find some. No, I think they, like, for selling their share, as I told you, like why IP is beneficial, because if the VC want to exit their position in a company, they can just simply sell their shares to the market. Like it is possible, then they can sell their share, basically they can sell their stakes before the company go IPO, before the companies go IPO, but they might find difficulty in that. Someone wants to buy their position, someone might not be. There is the difficulty in that case.
I get it. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Will we get the recordings today, or like after the workshop ends?
You will get the recording. Basically, like I have the data of all the students who have registered for the workshop, and I will share the recording to all the person.
Please share the slides also.
I'll share the slide also, and it could be possible then that I could share in the YouTube channel, so you can look into that also.
Okay.
Sure, the next session of this will be on the same link, or you will be making a new link for that?
Pardon? Same link.
Okay, thanks.
So so this is a link which is for all the lecture that we will gonna have in the future. So we will have around 7 lectures, so the link is almost same for all the lectures. And now we have only 2 more minutes left, so if someone have doubt, you can ask, or I will close the meeting. Actually, if you have any doubt after the workshop, you can simply DM me. I would happy to answer your question. But you can ask now. Now also.
Okay, I have a doubt. Like, can we classify venture capitalist as an angel investor if we are getting the funding directly at the initial stage from the venture capitalist?
No, actually, if you get the funding at the initial stage, then it would be the angel investor. VC won't if the definition of VC is something that they would give you they would invest in your money if the company is doing good, if the company is properly set up, you have manufacturing unit.
But if the proposal was very good and it will require a huge investment.
If the if you find someone who is ready to invest, maybe this depend on luck actually. Like if you are lucky enough to get the investment in that initial stage, then
so we can classify VCs as an angel investor.
Then they will remain the VC. They will not consider as angel investor. They will remain the VCs because they are investing too much. Like if you are saying, like according to your assumption, if they are investing too much, then they can be considered as VC.
Okay.
So we have, in that case, we don't have any angel investor, you could say that.
Okay. In the
And
initial
the seed fund will be fund will be the price will be the fund that VC provides to the company.
Okay, in the initial slide, you mentioned that IPO is offered to the public for issuing new shares or existing shares. So, are you sure
Yeah.
like IPO are used for existing shares? I think FPO will be used for existing shares.
Existing shares of, I'm talking about about the investor, like the VCs and the private equity person. For if they want to exit their position, they can do this through the IPO.
Okay. In the intraday trade, you mentioned like if we go for an intraday trade, then
Yeah.
if the share price is of 1900, we need to pay only 200 and then we'll get that.
Yeah. You get that leverage
I
yeah.
Why we
Yeah.
get that leverage?
Because it is mentioned na ki you have to square off your position before the market closes, so you
But why
provide
someone give us the price of 1900 at the price of 200?
because you are giving them the thing that you would exit your position within a day.
Okay.
So if you define so there is a thing in the stock market that if you define your stop loss, if you define your target, and if you define the holding period, then the price of the stock you get maybe like vary. They are not fixed. If you define your stop loss and maybe target and all the other things, then you might get the share maybe less than 200. So these are the things in the stock market. Yeah, if you defined all the things, then basically to increase the liquidity in the market, they do this.
Okay.
So more retail investor would attract through this, maybe you can call this as fund, through this thing, and they can just like as of my example, I do intraday trading only because I don't have that much fund to invest for longer period. So if like most of the student and most of the retail investor who don't have that much fund are most fine suitable, like intraday trading are the most suitable thing for them, but also they are very risky, like because they are something not as trading, they are speculation only. You are speculating something actually. So you have so like the risk, as you told, like why are they providing in such low rate? Because the risk associated with the intraday trading is too high as compared to the CNC position. If you in that, if you want to invest, if you want to keep the stock for more than a day,
Okay.
so the risk is very high. That is why they are providing you in such a low rate.
Okay. In one of your slide, you mentioned like free float market capitalization is product of number of shares outstanding into stock price. So what is the number of shares outstanding?
Number of shares outstanding is basically the in the IPO or in like in the general way.
Uh, I just saw in your slide like you mentioned the free float market capitalization rate.
So outstanding is the number of shares in the market that are available for trade.
So number of shares in the market are which we offer to the public only, not the VCs, not the other one.
Yeah, which we offer to the market, which we offer publicly.
The company offer to the public, not the
Yeah,
VCs.
no,
Or
the company offer to the public.
okay, according to your example, is like 16% of the
Yeah,
100%.
yeah.
Okay.
That can vary for like if as the IPO grows, malab that basically as the time period grows, for the companies to go publicly, then this number can vary. The basically company can issue more share in the market, or it could be the case that they can buy back their shares. So
Okay.
yeah.
In the definition of right issue, it is mentioned that subscribe to it only if you think it makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't get the proper interpretation of the right issue. Can you explain this?
So why do you want to buy some share, why do you want to buy some stock, or why do you want to invest in something if
No.
you
Can
think?
you
Yeah.
can you first explain the right issue and then link this statement to that?
So basically, if I want to buy, if I want to subscribe the IPO, then for that I need I just wanted to say through this line that uh, writing issue basically means to subscribe in the IPO only if you feel that it is like good, if it is if it is providing at a good price, or if you have no idea about what the prices he is doing he is going for a market, then don't, if you think it is overvalued, then don't issue it, then don't buy it basically. So
Okay.
if you think it is at fair price, or it is a true value, or it is under price, then only you should buy the or you should subscribe to the IPO.
Okay. And the last question is, can you explain the green shoe option?
Green shoe option, basically
It is basically, you mentioned that issuing additional shares to the underwriters, approximately 15%, and you relate it with some over allotment.
Okay, actually, as of personally, I don't know much about the green. You can Google it also. Actually, as of now,
No,
I don't
actually,
tell you
what?
in detail about that. Yeah.
Okay, actually, my question is like, if we have 100 shares in total with us, then how
Yeah.
will over allot them? We can allot only 100 now.
So actually, this is basically the terminology at the IPO time. Like if at the IPO there are so many other things other than like what you are saying. So as the company go public, and as the time period for our companies go public increases, then this thing makes sense. But at the starting, so at the time when you subscribe for a particular share for a particular IPO, then this thing may vary, what you were saying. So 100 maybe, as someone mentioned in the slide, as someone mentioned in the middle also, that allotted thing, that basically if I subscribe for 100 shares, and if the company if the company basically, if the IPO is oversubscribed, then you might not get the chance to get that shares, that to get the part in
In
your,
that
to get the
scenario,
subscription.
we get the shares on the pro rata basis. But I am saying,
Yeah.
like, if the company has total 100 shares, and you mentioned like in that in green shoe option, the company issue additional shares. So if I have only 100, how I am able to issue more shares? I can't exceed
So
my shares
yeah,
more than
if
100,
you are
no?
if you are a company, if you are a company and you are saying that how can a company issue more than 100 shares? So if, yeah, they can, through as the if VCs or some investor want to cut their position, they can just issue their share in the public, and in that scenario,
It
basically
is,
the number of
I think it is not as she is saying that it is not 100 share that the company has, it is the issued share. If the
Yeah.
company wants to issue 30% of the 100 share, then it might probably increase more than that, 15% limit. It is not as if the company has 100 share and it want to issue more than 100 share. It
Okay,
is
so that,
basically the issued share, and more than that can be
okay, I got it.
IPO. Okay, it's
Okay,
not the
thank you.
total shares.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Sharon.
Yeah. So as we are running out of time, so I am just closing this meeting. Thank you so much for everyone to attend the lecture, and as I told you, the next lecture is about the accounting 101 thing. So please attend the second lecture also. Thank you so much.
Hello.